I've heard some freshmen on the team now pick it up and they say, like, this is the most fun team I've ever been on, or like everyone here is just so kind.
Yeah.
And so that kind of atmosphere, like it really pushes you to do your best too, without being like this cutthroat competitive vibe. I don't run every single day in the winter. I think that's really crucial too for my health and all my peers' health who do that too. Mary even says like it's really good when athletes do like at least 2 different sports throughout the year, and so I guess it takes on a different form. Like in the winter it's Nordic skiing and track, even though it is running, it's really different, at least for me since I do the 800 mainly. That looks a lot different than my cross country training, and then in the summer it's a lot more like long runs and hikes on like Juneau Ridge. So it's 12-month sport, but kind of had the privilege of growing up in a family and in an environment where like you were always encouraged to try new things and always uplifted. And again, like when you make mistakes, like I wasn't shunned for making mistakes, or I wasn't shamed or like scolded for making mistakes. So I think that played a big role in building that foundation. But then I think cross country really like brought that out, and then again being paired with the kind of social justice work I do, that those two together I think really fostered that self-confidence. Definitely say gun violence, or preventing gun violence, is one of the biggest things. Like last year, my friend and I co-founded a social action group called Students Demand Action, and so it's a group advocating for gun sense legislation on like a state and citywide level, and so that's a big thing. And so we've had a vigil for that. It's a fairly new group, but we've talked to like Elise Galvin about the issues, and Jesse Keel and some other people, and so that's a big thing. And then I also am really passionate about just education, and I guess education justice, if you can consider it that. And so last year I was the JDHS school board rep, so I represented our school at the school board meetings, and I've testified a few times about like the base student allocation and the amount for that, because that's been up in debate for a while. And so those two things I think are the biggest parts of like my passion for social justice. Yeah, body president. I do Students Demand Action, where I guess you could consider me the co-founder.
Is that a national group?
Yeah, it's a branch off of Moms Demand Action, and so it is a national group, and we're the only branch in Alaska. And so then I do NHS, where I'm the vice president, and so last year I did. I was the school board rep as well, the JDHS school board rep. I'm part of a new group called Oceans Beat, which is a group working with students in India for to prevent deforestation. And
Oceans Beat?
Yeah, Oceans Beat. And then I've done some other things that aren't necessarily like a group. Like this summer I went to rural Thailand and taught refugees on the Thai-Burma border. So I taught them English. And so that's been something that's kind of wrapped up in my passion for education. And then, and so then I've tutored throughout high school too, in English as well. And I'm also right now working on a rally for the Juneau Climate Rally in early September, which is when the Sovereign Wealth Fund, there's a more official name, but it's basically when 32 sovereign nations that are coming to meet in Juneau about what their future plans with oil are. And so I'm planning a rally with the help of some of my friends to encourage them to divest. So it's countries like Saudi Arabia, I think like Finland might be there. A few of these like delegates are coming, so that's kind of the list of things. So those are the ones off the top of my head. And again, since I was young, I've been surrounded by just a bunch of strong women, honestly, who have kind of shown by leading and shown by their actions what it means to be a leader, and what it means to be an advocate, and what it means to stand up for something that's wrong or something that needs to be changed. And and so my dad also too, not to ignore him, has been a huge role, or has played a huge role in that too, just encouraging me to, if I have a passion, seek it out or be curious about it. And so I think those two hand in hand have really worked together.
Okay.